So this is the same story of God of night and God of day. So I had dictated myself about his speeches on God of night and God of day. But then when he spoke about it the first time, he was speaking about the creation, Genesis 1, part 1 something. He said God was in the dark, and when he was in the dark, he created light. So then, so in this darkness, there's one spot of light. In this complete darkness, one little drop of light starts. There's a drop, and that is a light. And that light slowly becomes bigger. And then up to a level that you don't see any darkness, you only see brightness. And everything is clear. This light, it was made. The next level was creating the universe. He did everything. He did the animals and the people and the insects. All step by step. And finally, he created the human beings. So what actually is the concept of God of night? It was basically the God before light. It's God in the darkness. God that before he created the creation. From the moment he created the light. Do you understand? After this lecture, you have to pay me a lot. Because you guys are studying it really easy for you. It was hard for me. So the light slowly became bigger, and the result of it was the whole universe. Was the universe. So from the darkness, before he could even created anything, that was the God of dark, God of in the night, God of night. And then when he started creation and the light, then it became God of the day. So while he was creating the universe and everything else, he became, of course, the God of day. But what is the whole point of God of the day? It's not the universe, it's not the animals. The last thing that he created was the core, Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve before the fall. This unfallen Adam and Eve, if they had become our true parents, the God of day would have be concluded and be completed. So, true Father is representing the God of day. He has completed, because he's completed, as the third Adam is completed one with God, he has become, here in front of us, the God of day. So we can say God of day is our true Father. Let's give him a clap. Thank you. Wow, you understand. So again, I did a chart here very simply. Origin, division, union. The God of night is invisible. Is spiritual. He has no form, sorry.
No expansion.
He cannot expand. But the God of day
참 부모라고 했습니다.
I said he's true father.
육적이요.
So he's physical.
형태가 있습니다.
He's got a form.
번식이 가능합니다.
He can recreate
완성한 아담과 이때
because he's the completed Adam and Eve.
낮의 하나님이 하나
This
되어서
God of night and God of day become one.
하나님이
All together,
완성된 것입니다.
when they unite, they become God.
참 부모로서
So as true parents,
아담과 성장해서
Adam and Eve,
참 부모로서
after
완성이 돼서
the completed Adam and Eve have come together, united, and they become one with God, God can live in them, then they become God. Then God can be here. This God of night can be the God of mind. He can be seen as the God of mind, and the God of day can be seen as the God of body. So when God and mind and body come together, and then this so basically is the mind and the body of God coming together as one. So the God of night is the divine self, divinity, divine self. And the God of day is someone that has a substantial self, a physical self, and he's divine as well. Because he's true Father's body, he becomes an entity of divinity. He's God of night. Is cosmic parent. He's the parent of heaven. And the God of day is the parent of earth, true father. True parent, sorry. So heaven's parent and the earth parents coming all together become parents of heaven and earth and humankind. 전지인 부모님, parents of heaven and earth and humankind. Do you understand? So at the moment, so if you don't understand, the actual name of our true parents is now the parents of heaven and earth and humankind, because God has come into them and they've become one. So the correct name, exact name is parents of heaven and earth and humankind. 전지인 부모님. Do you understand? Is that clear? And God is a divine word. He's the word. He's the word. We've talked about the characteristics of God. So he's the word. God is the word. And the God of day is a substantial word. So the substantial word, someone that uses, so basically, so using a true father's, true parent's body, he actually is able to give his word. So true parents' words are God's words. Because God came into our true parents' body and are now trying to speak, so there's God's word. From 2010, after true parents started the tour of the world, they did the event called the. They made they went around the world to make a substantial God's word event tour, and at that time, that's when they were trying to realize God's word in the world, or give God's word to the world. Do you understand? So the parents of heaven and earth and humankind, if we believe in them, and we can understand that they are actually directly connected to God and completing or proclaiming God's words at the moment. So it's the same as King of King. It's the same kind of concept. So let me say it again. The parents of heaven and earth and humankind are proclaiming the substantial word, and it's an era where they're having direct connection with God because God is in them, and that's the same concept with Kings of Kings. It's true parents plus God, that concept. So God is using basically true parents' body and is able to come down on the earth and actually directly govern the world. Do you understand? Because you understood many things, I think you understand very well. Just try and be a bit open eyes. So the god of night is the Sungsang, a subject. I told you. And the god of day is Hyungsang, the object. It's true father, true parent, sorry. So the time when the god of night is using the Sungsang, is using the lunar calendar, sorry, and the god of day, Hyungsang, is using the solar calendar. Do you understand? So they are using different concepts here. They're using different calendars. So of course the day, god of day, is using the solar according to the sun, the time of the day, calendar of the day, solar calendar. So from 2010, suddenly he just said, "Oh, let's use the lunar one," because he wanted to use Why do you think he would want to do that? Because he said the god of night is actually the subject. So then if the god of night, the subject, is using me, we should actually use the lunar calendar and be able to complete the era, and that's why it is the heavenly calendar that's coming about. Because the Sungsang, the god of night, is the subject. That's why we're using the lunar calendar, or the heavenly calendar, sorry. Yeah? Let's clap for him. Thank you. You guys, so now when you're listening to True Father's word now, because you know the little basics, you'll understand better. From now on, it was so far we did not know. We just kept using we just kept listening to the divine principle from the past, and we just kept listening. There's a big gap at the moment. It's changed, yeah? So that's how God completed the angelic world. He first completed the object, and so basically the god of night and the god of day has come in one person, because God of night could express himself in the god of day in our true Father. Yeah? So I told you yesterday. So true Father is God in physical. He said, he asked you, do you believe? Do you know that the true Father is?
최초로 하나님의 속성을 완성.
So again, it's because in the God of mind and the God of body, we cannot distinguish between them because our true Father is one. Do you understand? Our true parents, sorry now. So, our true parents are now parents of heaven and earth and humankind. So they have become cosmic parents plus parents of heaven and earth. So they've now parents of heaven and earth and humankind. So of course, if we also can get completed, we remove all our fallen natures and then we become as well Adam, like Adam and Eve before the fall, then we can get to our true parents level. Then what happens? We too become parents of heaven and earth and humankind. We removing. So of course, we will become parents of heaven and earth, removing the charm which is true. So we are not going to be the true parents of heaven and earth, but we're going to be parents of heaven and earth and humankind. So we can be in that position, but without the charm, which means true parents. So because he is the first, the substantial, the one that is the God of day, and came from God, he was the chosen one. So this is a name that we can also get if we complete ourselves. We become parents of heaven and earth. So, and that means we become little gods of day. So why is our true father true? Because you see, other teachers actually, they say, "Oh, I am the completed, I am the real one, but you guys cannot be like me." That's how they talk. Then other people say, I am the person, so you have to just follow me. That's how the other religious leaders say. But our true parents, the reason why he's a real, true parent of us and one with God is because he also has us in mind. And he said, of course, we can also be exactly like him. And he has that kind of theology, or thoughts, sorry. Do you understand? Thank you. That's the difference between our true parents and other people and other leaders that believe they're real. Because other people think they are messiahs. Because it's just about them. They will only want people for their whole life to be under them. So the only person that can be completed and can be perfect can only be them. And you guys will only be servants all the time. That's the idea for the people. But the Messiah, the true Messiah, the true parent, will give you a way for you to grow. But our true father didn't want to be the Messiah. He wanted to be our parent. He wanted to have us as children. He just wanted us to go towards the Messiah level. Do you understand? So let's clap for true parents. Okay. So the Messiah has completed the truth, has completed Eve, has completed human beings, has helped God to be complete, and then also has helped. He has also done the last one, which is to complete the spiritual world, the angelic world. Sorry, and that's his 5 missions. The last mission. Shall I tell you a nice story? Oh, shall we just do that, yeah? And that will also make you study. If I just stand there, it will not be interesting. Shall I tell you everything?
If I say everything, it's not interesting for you.
So basically, anyways, if I tell you everything, it's not going to be interesting. So you have to do some research yourself, yeah? So,
천사를 먼저 창조하고
what was the order? He first, the order of the creation and the order of perfection. So what's the order of creation and the order of perfection? There was first the order of, there was first angels, and there was first the creation of angels, creation and the human beings. But for the perfection, it was completely different. How did it start?
창조물은 최종적으로 인간을 완성시키기 위한
So first,
창조물에 불과합니다.
한 번만 다시.
I don't understand that. Sorry.
창조된 존재들은
So for everything that was created before,
완성시키기 위한 구조물에 지나지 않습니다.
That was just a tool. Angel was just a tool for human
Okay.
beings to become perfect.
so basically the angels were just tools for human beings to become perfect. That's why for the order of perfection to be done, it had to be the opposite way.
먼저 창조가 됐다 할지라도
So even though the angels were created before,
중요한 것은 인간을
the
완성시키기
most important thing was them to help human beings to get perfected.
That was the part.
That was the priority, to perfect human beings. I told them. Why I explained why human beings are important. Human beings are not just for themselves. Because human beings will help God to become complete.
Yes.
하나님 완성되려면 인간
So in order for a human being to be completed, in order for God to be completed, human beings need to get completed. Yeah?
이해되십니까?
Do you understand?
그래서 완성의 순서는
So for
창조의
the order of perfection is not the creation. It's first human beings, and human beings' perfection, and after that it will be the angelic world. And that's why them as creators as well, that was their job. It's our job.
우리가 창조를 배웠죠.
We studied the creation, didn't we?
인간이
So human beings, if human beings were completed, they would have been the ones subjecting the whole creation. If they were completed, they would have had dominion, over the whole creation.
제2의 하나님이 되는 것입니다.
So then, of course, they become the second God.
왜 하나님의 완성에
So,
인간에게 담겨져 있죠?
so why do you think God gave them this capacity of becoming this way?
그래서 완성의 기준은 쌍을
Because
이루어지는데
in order to be able to create, to be perfect, they need, of course, a pair.
쌍을 만들어주지 않았어요.
So he didn't start off by making a pair for the angels. He just made them.
천사세계는
So then,
어떤 쌍을 만들어
well, how do you think? How should the angels be? When will they get their pairs?
천사세계
It would be according to our true parents. If Adam and Eve had not fallen and they had become completed, Adam and Eve together being support. Of course, God would have helped them support to be completed, and then once they become a complete human being, then they would have reported to God,
하나님 아버지
God Father. What about the angelic world? I've done many things for the angelic world to have a partner,
그러하오니
and then God.
이제 천사세계로 쌍을 이루어서 완성시켜 주시지요.
God would have said, all right, now that you've given me this report, you can now, I think, yes, you are right, we should also have a pair for the angels. So basically, Adam and Eve would have seen that, and
위치를 위임받아서
after receiving the affirmation authority by God, they would have also created a lady angels, so that it will not only be the male angelic world. So they would have created, because they were creators, they would have created the pair of the female part of the angelic world. Do you understand?
그러니까 천사세계의 완성은 인간에게 있어.
So creation of the completion of angelic world is our job, human beings.
인간이 완성된
So for the angels and for angels to be completed, God will support us. We have to do it.
언제 쌍을 이루어주냐?
So when do you think they will have a partner?
인간이 완성되고 나서
It's when human beings get completed, and then when they become one completely with God in such a way that the God can actually be with them, and the whole nation, the whole world becomes one with God. Then of course, with God, then now it will be easy for them to create the angelic world, the female part of the angelic world.
There's a God's nation.
If there's a God's nation, sorry.
인정해서
So
천사세계를 어느 단계까지 완성시켜 주려고 하나님이 계획했냐면
I'll tell you how he has. What was the plan for God
공로를
to?
인정해서
So of course it had to be that God has.
동생의 레벨까지 끌어올리려고 했다 이 말씀.
So of course there were different levels that would have made in such a way that they can get up to the ability for them to create the angels.
Cousin.
So for starting from the cousin.
이해되세요?
No.
왜 통역을 못해?
That is very hard.
천사세계가 인간을 완성시키려고
So in order to
한 공로에 의해서
before I say one thing, I'm going to say that he's speaking about I'm going to say angelic world, but he's speaking about the female part of the angelic world. Okay?
여자 천사를 창조해서
So
쌍을
we
이루어서
have to create
천사세계를 완성시키고
the female angelic world, the angelic world. And that is our portion of responsibility as human beings, because we were creators like God.
이해되셨어요?
Do you understand?
그가 이해했죠?
Do you understand?
그래서
Human beings.
천사세계 어느
So-
단계까지 끌어올리려고 했냐면
Up to what level?
Up to what level do you think the angelic world would stand?
인간을 완성시킨
So
그 노력을 인정하사
for
인간의 사촌 동생의 레벨까지
so basically the angelic world will go up to the level of a
Human beings cousin.
they will go up to the level of human beings' cousin. We go up to the level of God's wife or husband, but they go up to the level of cousin,
Of human beings.
human beings.
yes?
Why? I don't know. Where's 사촌까지요?
그 사촌은
Just listen. So,
레벨에
because
밑에
they have to stay below human beings. They cannot.
문제가 천사가 타락하지 않고 인간을 완성시켰더라면이라고 하는 전제가 있어요.
Because if they go,
If angel and
if the angels can go up to they cannot go anyways up to the level of human beings. If not, they become again exactly like us. We're not the same. We are supposed to be similar to God. So again, it's about we're talking to the level of the angels again before the fall. They were supposed to be our supporters.
그렇게 됐다면 인간의 사촌의 레벨
So again,
올리려고 했다.
we're supposed to bring them up to the level of cousins for us.
Understand?
Do you understand?
Because cousins would be on the same level. That's why we don't understand. Cousins to us are like brothers and sisters. A cousin could be your brother or sister, the same position. So it's difficult to grasp that concept.
뭐라고?
사촌이랑 여기 형제랑 똑같은 개념이라고 자기한테는
뭐가
다른 게 뭐냐고.
그러니까 그것을
So that-
액면대로의
is because
레벨이라고 보지 말고
don't look at it in the human being level. Don't look at it that way.
그만큼의 이상을
Just see that how far he has been trying to also upgrade and raise up the angels.
그렇게 이해하시면 돼요.
Yeah, understand it that way. Don't look at it as a human being.
Literally, don't understand trying.
Don't understand it literally. Sorry, literally.
요즘 훈독회라다가
So these days, when Hundoke speaks, when he speaks in the Hundoke, he says, "What do you know? What do you know? What kind of? Do you know what would have happened if it had not happened? The fall? Huh? Do you know what would have happened?" That's how he speaks now these days in the Hundoke.
결론적으로 얘기를 들으면 이해를 못해요.
Now, of course, if I just speak like this, if I just tell you the answer, conclusion, you will not understand. It's because he wants us to understand how they had to be completed.
Understand?
Do you understand?
천사 세계가
So,
다 타락했어요.
did all the angelic world fall? Answer is no.
세계는
So, did in the angelic world there are three types:
루시엘,
Lucifer,
가브리엘,
Gabriel, and someone, Michael. So he's giving the three names of the angels. He's like, I don't know how you guys call him here. So in Korea, it is Gabriel, Michael, and Luciel, which is basically in Korean. That's Lucifer, Gabriel, and Michael.
그런데 루시엘
So
천사의
Lucifer
그 단체만 타락했을 뿐.
is the only one that fell.
가브리엘, 미가엘
What about Gabriel and the other one? They didn't fall. So, I'll ask you a question.
노아의 홍수 심판.
Did Noah make the?
No, God did Noah's judgment.
Did God?
아무리 죄를 지었다 할지라도 인간을 죽이는 하나님이
Okay, is there a God? Is there a God that loves? Is the loving God someone that will want to kill human beings when he, for example, he did the flood judgment for Noah's time? Is he a loving God?
He wanted to prevent more sin.
노아 홍수 심판은
The judgment of Noah, in the judgment, it was not God who made that. It was not by God.
가브리엘, 미가엘
It was if you look at Gabriel and Michael,
인간은
the human beings were not.
루시엘의 자식이에요.
Human beings were not the children of God. They were the children of Lucifer.
천사 세계
So
영분을 잃게 한 것은 루시엘.
so then it's thank you. So then it's because of
인간을 때려 죽이는 것은 하나님의 자녀를 때려 죽인 것이 아니라
so it wasn't God. It wasn't God that had done this. It was basically it wasn't God that did it. It's the two other angels, which is tell him to wait. 잠시만요. 잠깐만요. So basically, it wasn't God who did this. It was the two other angels. And why did they do this? Is because they said, we are going to kill the children of Lucifer,
Not God's.
not God's.
God's children.
So they made the flood. So that's why
천사 세계에 대해서
this is a very important story about the angels' world. Please be quiet.
그 내용이 어디 있느냐?
So where does this come from? Where do you hear all that from? It's inside the Chon Song Gyong.
구약 시대에 하나님의 영
And
천사 세계
so it's this. It is that is there's one bit in the Chon Song Gyong that is explaining about the Old Testament. If you read
Angel.
if that the Old Testament was done by the angels, if you check that, you'll see it. The Old Testament was done by the angels.
providence.
하나님에 대한 그 내용이
저-
나오는 앞부분에 있어요.
It's at the front where the providence, at the front, just at
구약 시대에
the name is, the subtopic is,
하나님의 역할을 했던 것은 천사예요.
so the subtopic of it is just, it wasn't God that did the Old Testament, it was the angels. It's a topic like that, you understand?
그래서 원칙의 하나님.
So it's God of rule, God of law. You have to know, it's a God of law.
정말로 강의 끝나고 나서 $300씩 내시겠네요.
Give me $300 after everyone, after this.
그런데 타락이라고 하는 것은 뭐냐?
So, why did how did they fall? Why did they fall? It's because the just motivation of the fall was to have dominion over the creation.
완성의 순서가 아닌
So again,
의 순서대로
we.
주관권을 행사하려고 했던
So he thought that he could be able to, actually, just as the order of the creation, he wanted to continue in that way. He wanted to have dominion, authority, because he was created first.
내가 네 마음속에 끝날 때까지 기다리니까 너무 늦다. 내가 큰일 나. 첫 강의처럼 들어왔어요. 그래서 이 천사세계의 완성은 넥스트
He's just telling me to be a bit faster.
천사세계의 완성은
The completion of the angelic world. If you look at the 510.84, on the 7th, in 2005, God created male angels, and then He said, perfected Adam needs to create female angels.
창조해가지고 결론적으로 완성한 아담이
So then perfected Adam.
이때 당시에 하나님의 위상을 가지고
Together with God, He had to create the angelic world
천사세계를 완성.
and help the angelic world become complete. And once they completed, it would Adam would take the position of the substantial God.
자 결론적으로
So to complete, through parents' life and cause and completion of mission. True parents, the Messiah, these are the three different levels, the Messiah, the true parents, and the kings of kings. In the first part, he had to find and proclaim the truth. So normally this number one has to be there. Just look at where he's putting the red lights. So when we changed the PowerPoint to a different computer, then it messed up. So then the Messiah's job is to find and proclaim the truth. And that's where number one is. And in 2010, it was completed. 8 texts, through the 8 textbooks. And then with True Mother's completion, the completion of True Mother, in 1960, starting from 1960, up to now, up to the foundation day, it's going to happen. And the completion of human beings, basically, True Father opening the road of the blessing for both the spiritual and the physical world. He has completed the human beings. And the completion of God was when the True Mother could go to the level of becoming the wife of God. And that's when it finished, the completion of God. And then the completion of the angelic world, it will be when the Chonil Guk comes down on the earth. It has not, and that's the only thing that's remaining in the mission of our true Messiah. Do you understand? So from now, let's look at that watch and then rest till 45 and let's start again. Thank you. This is too hard, but I cannot do it.
It's something that you have to really understand. I understand. I understand you looked at it, yeah, but you know to like